the racing minister, says he will not rush a decision on whether to ban greyhound racing for fear of the government ending up in court. Appearing before a select committee yesterday morning, Winston Peters also declared that dogs love racing and encouraged his fellow MPs to watch them in the wild. Don't know how many wild dogs he gets to see. Green MP Steve Abel took the opportunity to challenge Peters over what it would take for him to prohibit the industry, given the harm caused to animals and its very low level of social licence. Now, Peters told MPs he utterly opposed animal cruelty and wanted to ensure the sport was safe, but he said he had no interest in making a careless decision which could land taxpayers in legal trouble, saying it's a very delicate situation, make no bones about it. Speaking to media later, Peters refused to detail the potential legal risk, but said that was his judgment based on his own experience as a formal lawyer. Now, he told the select committee the worst outcome would be if many greyhounds had to be euthanased because of a political decision to ban the sport. He also encouraged MPs to go and watch greyhounds in natural and free conditions. Dogs love racing. Watch them in the wild. They're just like horses. It gets even kookier. Listen to this. 3 o'clock in the morning, everybody's quiet, and they're out there having a race in the paddock. I gather he's talking horses. Because when do the greyhounds get to run around at 3 in the morning? I'm confused. Animal charities have long called for action after numerous reviews of the sport sounded alarm about animal welfare practices. And if we go back to 2021, former Sports Minister Grant Robertson put the industry formally on notice after a report found the industry had failed to adequately improve animal welfare systems. And in May last year, then Racing Minister Kieran McAnulty declared that the status quo was no longer viable. We are faced with two options, he said, continue under strict conditions or closure. But just like most things Labor said, nothing was done. So where do we stand now? Animal charity SAFE has been calling for an immediate ban on greyhound racing for some time, and Emma Brodie is the campaign manager. She joins me now. Emma, good afternoon.
Kia ora. Thanks for having us on.
No, thank you, Emma. I mean, there's some strange things coming from Winston Peters. Love dogs, love racing, watch them in the wild. They're just like horses. I mean, sounds a bit Cooksville to me, but disappointing to hear that from him, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely share your confusion by the Minister's comments, and we were quite stunned by it because he didn't really clarify how the government could be vulnerable to legal challenges or why the mass euthanasia of greyhounds would be a concern at all, especially considering that last month a group of animal protection organisations, including SAFE, SPCA, Hoo-Ha and Dogwatch, committed to assisting with the rehoming of greyhounds should the industry be closed down to ensure a smooth transition for the greyhounds into permanent loving homes. So we're not sure where this came from, and we've sent a formal letter to the Minister to, seek more clarification on this.
Do you think, I don't know, I've been thinking, what is he talking about with legal ramifications? Is it a deal they signed with the racing industry, with the TAB? Maybe they have a contract?
We can't be sure until the Minister clarifies his statements, but what we do know is that the evidence on the harms of greyhound racing is really clear, and we believe the Minister has all the evidence he needs to make his decision. As you mentioned, there have been 4 reviews into the industry over the past decade, which show that the major issues in greyhound racing remain unchanged, and more reviews will not yield a different result, so we think the answer is really clear.
So, Emma, for our listeners, just can you clarify what is actually wrong with it? What is wrong with greyhound racing?
Yes, so greyhound racing is inherently dangerous for dogs. Every day dogs can be injured and suffer broken bones, many kinds of injuries, and unfortunately, in the worst of cases, some dogs lose their life to severe injuries. Just last month, 90 dogs were injured, 10 suffered broken bones, and 4 dogs died. But even beyond race day, yes, that's all in 1 month, unfortunately.
In 1 month? So So 90 injured. How many died?
4 dogs died, all just in May.
Just in May, and then what was the other? You had 94, and was there
we had 90 dogs injured and 10 suffered broken bones.
10 suffered brain. And because they probably will never race again, will they?
Yes, exactly. They'll be subject to long rehabilitation and long-term health issues from racing.